for you as we wrapped our show up here. Yesterday afternoon, he passed away at the age of 76. So we're going to play a little cheers music today for you. And we got some really cool moments with Norm as part of the Cheers show to play for you throughout the afternoon here on the Sam Bourquin Get Together. Holy smokes, we are busy today. You never know. You got stuff planned, and all of a sudden things change. So we are going to rock with it. First of all, we want to tell you that Jordan Miller from Jordan Miller News is going to be joining us here on the program. Jordan just put a story out on his site. Some new revelations with the West Branch Walt the Shields situation. So we're going to have Jordan on. By the way, there's a school board meeting at 5:00 today. So Jordan was kind enough to come on, and we will talk to him coming up here in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, in Louisville, the Louisville Leopards have a new head boys basketball coach. His name is Dave Wirtz. He will take over for Coach Siegfried. And he just, they've recommended him. He's going to get the gig. So Dave Wirtz, congratulations, the new head boys basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards. And when time allows, we'll try to get Coach Wirtz on here in the next couple of days and see what he has in store for the Louisville boys basketball program. So a little breaking news there. Also, excuse me, if you're out and about right now, be careful. We got one storm blowing through the area. There may be a few more before 4:30 or 5:00. So if you're out today, please be careful. And if you see anything wild, hit us up and we'll pass the information along at 330-821-1310. Guardians are in action right now against the Twins. They are losing 5-2. That ball game is now in the bottom of the 8th inning. At the conclusion of that game, there'll be a little 20-minute break, and then they will go and play game number 2 today at Target Field. The Eastern Conference Finals gets underway tonight. We got some good audio for you there. Pacers and Knicks will get together. And we got a lot of other stuff. We got the Sam Bourquin Show poll question on this day in sports history. Todd Blackledge from NBC Sports is going to join us at 5:15. So we are filled to the gill today here on 1310 WDPN. And make sure you are checking us out on all of our social media platforms as well. Okay, without any further ado, Jordan Miller from Jordan Miller News, and of course, on the terrific morning show at Q92 Radio, has been kind enough to join us for a few minutes here this afternoon on the Sam Bourquin Show. Jordan, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me.
You bet. So I was back in the office getting stuff together for the show and had about all the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted, and my guy Ryan Keller comes in. Did you see Jordan Miller? What? So I opened it up and I said, oh, my God, here we go again. I'm going to get a hold of Jordan, and we're going to try to have him on the show. So I appreciate you coming on. What in the blazes is going on over there at West Branch again? Are we starting this whole thing all over again with, like, new revelations and he said, she said? What's the latest, my friend?
Yeah, I'm really not sure, where this is going to go, but there were some text messages that just were released. They came out Monday night. They were revealed by the MLO bros. They're the social media platform, and they put in an information request, and they got their hands on them, and they passed them along to me. I took a look at them, and the text messages are very concerning, and I'll tell you why. Because in my opinion, it appeared as though you had school board president and the superintendent texting one another back and forth, trying to come up with the reasoning that they were going to give the public as to why they were letting Walt the Shields go. The coach that they told they weren't going to renew, but then they voted 3-0 to bring him back. And the text messages didn't look good because it was almost like they were using things that they knew. The board president said multiple times, well, if he pushes us back, if he gives us pushback, tell him that we're going to go to the media, tell him that we're going to tell everything if he gives us pushback for our decision to let him go. So there's a board meeting in about an hour and 45 minutes at 5:00 at West Branch High School. I'll be there live streaming.
And folks, make sure you get on that Jordan Miller News. He will be there to live stream that and let you know what the latest is. So, it's kind of funny, Jordan. When I first got hired in here full time to do this show, and that was about 3.5 weeks ago, or almost a month ago. One of my first guests, I wanted to get Coach DeShields on, just to kind of talk about, okay, what happened? What can you say? What do you want to get out there? Where's the program? What's everything going to be moving forward? Well, we could we couldn't make that happen, and now this happens today. So I'm like, okay, uh, you don't expect anything to really come out of this, like for them to completely come back and change their mind and go to another vote, another emergency board meeting, or anything crazy like that, do you?
No, I don't expect that to happen. But I was looking, and on the agenda to speak tonight, during the public comments, is Mr. Kanagi, the school board president's husband, who he spoke, and he made very, very controversial comments the last time that he spoke in April. And he's the first one that he made allegations in regards to an incident that took place. And yeah.
So, unbelievable. Just when you thought this was dead and gone, it rears its head again. So again, there's a board meeting at West Branch High School today at 5 p.m. Jordan Miller News will absolutely be all over it. So what do you expect to happen tonight? Just like short term, long term?
Well, we could all speculate, things that are going to happen, but I have no clue. I don't know if the school board is going to release another statement. Truthfully, I've got friends that I know are administrators. If there's something that I need to ask them, whether it's sensitive or not, I usually pick up the phone and I call them.
Sure.
That way we can have a conversation that way. So I do think that there was a lapse of judgment between the superintendent and the school board president to be texting, and they were texting very sensitive information.
Yes.
That way, the school board president, Mickey Kanagi, she used the term sexual assault and claimed that a sexual assault had taken place, not involving DeShields, but involving somebody else. And so I sent an email and I asked, after I read those text messages, I said, hey, after reviewing the text messages between the two of you, can you please inform me which authorities were notified regarding the sexual assault allegations? As public officials, I trust that this matter was reported to the appropriate law enforcement agencies. Please let me know which agencies were contacted. That way I can follow up and get the investigation reports. And then the superintendent emailed me back within the last 45 minutes and told me that she notified their school resource officer verbally of the matter, thus to the extent that if I were to make a public records request, there are no documents to support it because it was reported verbally.
Okay.
And then she said a referral was made to the Ohio State Board of Education's Office of Professional Conduct. However, those documents are confidential and not a public record. But Sam, the thing that kind of struck me is I've covered a lot of school board controversy. I mean, we all remember Canton South.
Oh, yeah.
A couple years ago with their volleyball situation and their school board members. Well, I had a situation in Sandy Valley a number of years ago where a teacher was arrested, convicted, and put in prison for things that he had done. What I've come to learn, if you are going to make a complaint, the complaint has got to be emailed. There's got to be that paper trail. You can't just have a conversation. You've got to put it in writing. So, yes, maybe these were brought up to law enforcement agencies or the school resource officer, but for it to actually, something to actually be done about it, there needs to be that paper trail of saying, well, look, this happened. these are the complaints. And remember, they continue to say that there were complaints against Walt DeShields, but they were unable to provide any of those complaints because they weren't documented complaints.
Interesting. Well, that's usually how it goes. You know, the whole he said, she said, well, if there's no trail, if there's nothing on paper, if there's no email, if there's not a document, then, I mean, it's amazing some of this stuff even stands on its own 2 feet as long as it does, because no emails, no documentation usually means no nothing. But I'm interested to see what happens tonight. My goodness. Tonight, 5 o'clock, West Branch High School board meeting. Jordan Miller will be there. Check him out. Follow him, like him, share him at Jordan Miller News. And Jordan does a great job on our sister station delivering the news Monday through Friday morning on Q92 Radio. Jordan, thanks for coming on at such short notice today. I would tell you have fun tonight, but I won't. But be careful, and we'll talk to you down the road. Thanks again.
Hey, I appreciate it, Sam. Congrats on the show. I know you're getting a lot of love out there on it.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Take care. There he is, Jordan Miller from Jordan Miller News, kind enough to check in with us here on 1310 WDPN. So 5 o'clock tonight at West Branch High School, and I bet our own Jeffrey Mears will be working on that and covering that story for you as well. Holy smokes. What in the world is going on? And if this all, now, see, well, I guess I am paid to give my opinion, so I will. I have a feeling, just from what I have read and talking to just a few people kind of close to within the situation, this whole thing still kind of stinks to me a little bit. And to me, just from what I know, again, I don't know it all. I don't know everything about it, but just the information that I have received and the stuff that I have read, it sounds to me this is all about, maybe one or two people not getting enough playing time. That's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong. I know Walt DeShields. I've played baseball against Walt DeShields back in the days of the Canton Class A League down at good old Cook Park. And I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong. He said, she said. I'm just telling you the facts that I know. And my opinion is, I think this is, I don't know, a little silly. But it continues. Again, there's a 5 o'clock meeting in West Branch tonight, and we'll have you covered. Jordan Miller News will have you covered. And I'm sure that he'll have some good stuff for you on the news tomorrow morning on our sister station, Q92 Radio. And we'll have news here as well in the morning with Clint and Jeff Mears in the afternoon as well. So, boy, it just doesn't stop over there at West Branch. Okay, we're going to regather here. We're going to take a break. It is 3:24 on your rainy, windy, stormy Wednesday afternoon. The phone lines are open for you now at 330-821-1310. You can also text the show at 330-924-7088. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. We'll be right back.
Hey, class of 2026, you are this close to senior year. Are you ready?
Get ready to see yourself in a whole new light. Laura Esposito is not just taking pictures, she's creating confidence, one epic senior portrait at a time. Imagine walking out of your photo session feeling like your absolute best self, with images that make you say, wow, is that really me? Seniors, this is your moment to shine. And Laura means really shine. Her sessions are part photo shoot, part confidence boost, and 100% fun. Parents, you'll love how she makes the entire process smooth and stress-free. Serving all Stark County schools and surrounding areas, Laura transforms senior year milestones into jaw-dropping memories that'll make you smile for years to come.
I see you, I hear you, I've got you every step of the way.
Ready to look and feel incredible? Book your senior session today. Visit LauraEspositoPhotography.com or call 330-704-6473. Your most confident self is waiting.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action in communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at rotary.org/action.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon
and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, we are back, 1310 WDPN, streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com. You can also watch and listen on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Hello, folks. Here we are. Sammy B here. Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. Again, I want to thank Jordan Miller from Jordan Miller News for joining us on the program today to discuss the latest with West Branch School Board meeting, 5 o'clock tonight. If anything breaks between 5 and when we're done, we'll have it for you. I know Jeff Mears will be covering things as well. High school basketball news today. Louisville has found their new head coach. It is going to be Dave Wirtz. He will take over for Tom Siegfried, who stepped down a couple of weeks ago. Dave Wirtz is the new boys basketball coach at Louisville, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with him in the next couple of days. Again, if you're out and about today, please be careful. Some inclement weather has been brewing and blowing through. I think we should be okay once we get to around 4:30, 5 o'clock. But if you're out there right now, please be careful. If you see anything wild, flooding, tree limbs down, power lines, what have you, give us a buzz. We'll pass it along. 330-821-1310. Todd Blackledge, college football analyst, NBC Sports, is going to be joining us at 5:15 today. Can't wait to talk to Todd about the overall landscape of college basketball. Todd Blackledge on the show today here on WDPN at 5:15. Phew. Rainsburg, what a crazy last hour it's been. At about 2:40, all bleep broke loose with all this stuff going on and the weather and this and that and the other. But we weathered the storm, so we're good to go.
We are back on track in here.
We are back on track. We had some wild moments coming up, but we're good to go. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to get a update on the Guardians. I don't think they are finished yet, but they were close to being finished. Yep, doggone it. They ended up they blew it. The Guardians rallied for 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning to take the lead over Minnesota. Minnesota got a run in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they beat Cleveland by the score of 6-5. Man, that, you know what? What is it, May 20th? May 21st? That's a gut punch loss today. That's a tough loss for Cleveland. It really is. Remember, this was the completion of the suspended game from a couple of days ago. Minnesota, 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors. Cleveland, 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Again, the Guardians get 3 in the 9th, and the Twins come back with 1 in the bottom of the 8th, 1 in the bottom of the 9th, and they win it by the score of 6-5. Let's see how they scored here. Looks like the Twins got a double deep to center field. to score the game-winning run, and that's how it ended. So Minnesota wins game one. They completed that game 6-5. So we'll take a little break here, and then they'll come back and start game two. I imagine close to around 4 o'clock today, and Gavin Williams will be on the mound for the Guardians. So tough news there for Cleveland baseball fans. We'll see if we can get the split later on today. We'll come back after the news and weather. Lots more coming your way here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Keep it here, 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. 93 trucks have crossed into Gaza since Israel partially lifted its humanitarian aid blockade, but the UN says it's nowhere near enough and that if baby formula doesn't get in soon, as many as 14,000 babies could die in the next 48 hours. ABC's Ian Pannell reports the UK, Canada, and France are also expressing concerns over the aid crisis for Gazans, and the UK has halted trade talks with Israel.
Under pressure, Israel is now allowing some aid in, but the UN says none of it has been distributed yet. The situation, though, on the children's wards in Gaza's beleaguered hospitals are grim, with many newborn infants severely underweight. And as talks in Qatar reach another ceasefire, they appear to be going nowhere. There are fears that Israel's about to launch another major land offensive, which will only make the situation even worse.
There are delays for aid because of fears of looting and Israeli military restrictions. President Trump's multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package is at risk of stalling. House Speaker Mike Johnson and conservative Republican holdouts are heading to the White House today for the last-ditch talks to salvage the bill. Johnson had hoped to vote as soon as today on the 1,000-page-plus bill after grinding through an all-night committee hearing, but debate dragged into midday. Democrats lack the votes to stop Trump's package, so they're using all available tools to press their opposition. Conservatives are angry at last-minute deals and worried the package will add to the nation's debt. President Trump met with the president of South Africa today at the White House before a closed-door session was held. Trump spent the majority of the time to accuse the South African government of allowing for the killing of white South African farmers. When the president attempted to show evidence of the genocide, a reporter asked about news that broke while they were in the meeting concerning the $400 million luxury jet that the U.S. is getting from Qatar.
And you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. Go ahead, talk about that. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet.
The jet is expected to become Air Force One and then will go to Trump's presidential library. There are questions about the legality of the gift that have been raised by lawmakers from both sides of the aisle. Rapper and actor Kid Cudi is expected to testify at the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial tomorrow. He'll tell the jury about his brief relationship 14 years ago with Combs' ex-girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassie. She testified last week that Combs was enraged when she left him for a period of time in 2011 and began dating Cudi. Prosecutors say Combs was so upset that he arranged to have her convertible firebombed. Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he oversaw a racketeering enterprise that controlled Cassie and others through threats and violence. His lawyers say the evidence doesn't amount to a criminal racket or sex trafficking. It's 67 degrees in Alliance at 3:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Showers and possibly a thunderstorm for the remainder of your Wednesday afternoon. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall, a high near 65. For the overnight, showers and thunderstorms likely, otherwise cloudy, cool, a low around 49. Thursday, keep the umbrella handy, showers and a high near 52. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Are you looking to send flowers to someone special? Let DeHaas Flowers Greenhouse and Landscaping take the hassle out of this beautiful gesture for you. When you order online through national flower dealers, you lose 20 to 30% of your money because it goes to the middleman. Get more bloom for your buck and order from DeHaas. They'll deliver. It's true, when you skip the middleman, all your money goes towards the flowers, and that makes everyone happy. Well, except the middleman. Locally owned and operated, the experts at DeHaas have over 61 years of professional knowledge and experience, and they'll be happy to design the perfect arrangement for all the events in your life. So remember, DeHaas.com, and you'll always get more bloom for your buck. In Alliance on the corner of Beach and Beechwood, you can order by phone, too, at 330-823-1455.
I want you to imagine for a moment you're in a hospital. You are the patient connected to an IV bag. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, endless pokes, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine experiencing all of these things and you're only a child. This is why Starlight exists, to bring happiness to hospitalized children through programs that help kids cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook. Programs like gaming, virtual reality headsets, toy deliveries, radio flyer wagons, and cozy hospital gowns are just a few of the ways Starlight eases a child's hospital stay. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back to the show. I want to thank Jordan Miller News, for joining us right off the bat today with the latest with what's going on with West Branch. And again, school board meeting at the school tonight at 5 p.m. So we'll definitely keep our eyes and ears open as far as that's concerned. The Guardians fall 6-5 in the first game today, the completion of the suspended game from a couple of days ago. Follow me on that? Come on. Holy smokes, the weather's just but they're playing today up in Minnesota. Guardians blow that when they lose today by the score of 6-5. Game 2 should be getting underway here at about 4 o'clock or so. Louisville basketball, new head coach just breaking about a half an hour ago. Dave Wirtz will take over the program and be the new head boys basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards. And we're trying to get a hold of coach maybe here in the next couple of days whenever things are settled down and everything's official over at Louisville. In the meantime, we'd love to hear from you this afternoon at 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. You can also watch and interact with us on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Still coming down pretty good here at the station in Alliance. Be careful if you're out and about. I wouldn't be surprised if we had some flooding in some of the low-lying areas today. So if you're out and about today, please be careful with the rain and the wind and the crazy weather. And don't ask me when this is going to stop, this nonsense weather. I mean, are you kidding me? Is this April again? My gosh. I think we are under another warning here. It looks like another strong thunderstorm could be coming through here to about 4:15, 4:30 this afternoon. So again, please be careful if you're out and about. Looks like things are going to settle down here around 6 o'clock, and then the rain looks like it's going to fire back up again around 8 o'clock tonight and be with us the rest of the evening. We're looking for a lot of rain tonight, a lot of rain tomorrow, and it looks like we will finally clear out on Friday. Did you see the high temperature for tomorrow? 51. 51. It's going to get down to 44 tomorrow night. Lows are going to be in the low 40s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We kind of recoup a little bit with a high of 70, and then we go right back down into the 60s again. So it has been a pretty wild weather roller coaster here the last several days. Don't forget, if you can, we would love to see you out at the Pro Football Hall of Fame ribs burn-off coming up Memorial Day weekend. All gets underway Friday and goes through Sunday. Now there's a big fireworks display Sunday night around 9:30. So we'd love to see you out there over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame for the 2025 ribs burn-off. I'll be hanging out there Saturday, Sunday. A lot of other great folks between Q92 and here will be out there. So we look for you. Come on out and say hello and enjoy some great food, drink, music, and fireworks. That's at the Pro Football Hall of Fame beginning this Friday. Looking forward to it. Just don't rain. I don't care if it's a little cold. Just don't rain. That's all I'm asking. You think about it. Excuse me. And we're talking about this in our meeting today. Last year, I think, was in just sultry hot. So there's a happy medium here with burn off weather. You don't want it to be crazy hot, but then you don't want it to be like bone chilling cold and rain. I think perfect ribs burn off weather is around between like 72 and 77 degrees. I think that's perfect. Now, I'm almost positive we're not going to get that this weekend, but it's not going to be crazy hot and uncomfortable. So come on out to the Hall of Fame and enjoy the ribs burn off this weekend. All right. The Guardians today, I'd kind of given up on them a little bit. They were down. They went down as much as 5-2, and this was in the top of the 8th inning. So I kind of looked away from the monitor and the score updates for a little bit. I said, they're done. Especially when Minnesota got one in the bottom of the 8th inning. I said, this is probably done. So what happens in the top of the 9th inning? The Guardians push 3 across. The big batters were Nolan Jones, Bo Naylor. Okay. So we're good. We're 5-5. We're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Twins get a run at the bottom of the half and win that one by the score of 6-5. Cade Smith took the loss today for the Guardians in 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, no walks, no strikeouts. So the Guardians now are 25-22 on the season. If they would happen to blow another game today and go to 25-23, and we're going to keep our eyes on the Detroit Tigers as well, man, this is a very, very interesting time for the Guardians. By the way, Tigers lead St. Louis now 5-1, and that ball game has gone to the top of the 9th inning in St. Louis. It wasn't that long ago. The Guardians were about a game and a half out of first place. By the time your head hits the pillow tonight, they could be like 7 games out. And I know it's only May, but pretty soon May is going to flip over to June, and you're going to look up and you're going to see, yikes, we're almost double digits out of first place. Detroit, by the way, is 33-17 right now. So it would behoove the Guardians to get a win here in this second game, because after today, they finally get the heck out of Minnesota, and then they're going to get on a plane, and then they're going to fly to Detroit. And then they're going to play the Detroit Tigers. Okay. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you don't have a good series against Detroit, you are really going to be pushing the boulder up the hill. There's a chance. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a chance. By the end of the weekend, you could be over 10 games out of first place. And then what happens? Again, it's only the end of May. But if you're down 10 games in the division, and you see the Detroit, that right now, that is a locomotive. There is nothing stopping the Detroit Tigers right now. Nothing. Now, we're going to be getting David Fry back here pretty soon. I think we're going to get Lane Thomas back pretty soon. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to cover up the bad baseball that the Guardians have been playing here for the last 7 or 8 days. And if you leave Detroit down 10 games, and then you come home to play who? The Los Angeles Dodgers, who had another walk-off win last night. The Dodgers are playing outstanding baseball. So they're going to come into Progressive Field on Monday at 6:10. And I don't want to, I'm not trying to sound like the grim baseball reaper here. But if you have a bad series against the Dodgers, there may have to be decisions made on some people and some things. I'm not talking about Stephen Vogt. I'm not talking about that. But maybe, you might want to start bringing some guys up. Maybe some guys need to go down to AAA, get a little respite, a little break, clear their mind. Maybe some other transactions as far as pitching is concerned. There's a lot going on here right now with Stephen Vogt and the Guardians. And winning covers up a multitude of sins. It does. But again, I said, if it's a really bad weekend, Cleveland could be coming home down 10 games in the division with the Los Angeles Dodgers coming in. I don't know if we want to see that. Again, they lose today 6-5, game 2 of that doubleheader coming up here, probably around 4 o'clock or so. And again, don't forget now that September 30th game against Minnesota, now that's going to be a day-night doubleheader at Target Field because that one got rained out yesterday. Taking a little trip around Major League Baseball today, we told you about the Tigers. They are now in the top of the 9th inning. They lead St. Louis 5-1. Tampa Bay leads Houston by the score of 8-4. Cubs lead the Marlins 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Orioles lead the Brewers 3-2. Top of the 6th inning, Mariners and the White Sox are 4-4. And everybody else just getting underway, or they will play later on tonight. NBA Eastern Conference Finals coming up this evening. The Indiana Pacers will pay a visit to Madison Square Garden to take on the New York Knicks. 8 o'clock, that's game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. You've got NHL playoffs tonight as well. Edmonton and Dallas, game 1 of their series. But when I think about Knicks, Pacers, what do you think about? You think about Madison Square Garden. You think about John Starks and Reggie Miller butting heads. And you think about Reggie Miller scoring 8 points in about 9 seconds to move Indiana out of that series and on to the next. This has been a lot of interesting sidebar, a lot of great storylines here in this series. I mean, when's the last time the Knicks were in the Eastern Conference Finals? It's been a long time. Okay? Indiana was there last year. But just the whole tone, the whole mood, the whole Madison Square Garden. Man, I think that place is going to be lit tonight. I really think so. I'm going to tune in and watch some of that, some NBA hoops tonight. I think it's going to be a great series. I would not be surprised at all if it went 7. I don't really have a rooting interest here. I mean, let's face it, I'm a Cavs fan, so my team's out. It would probably be exciting if the Knicks won, but the Pacers are such a good team. They're such a well-coached team, and they're a hard-nosed team. I don't see a lot of like crazy points in this series. I see that Vegas has the total of 222.5 tonight. Man, I don't see it. I see some games here, maybe like 105, 104, 108, 100, something along. I could be wrong. I could be wrong because the Pacers like to push. We saw that. Knicks a little bit more patient. They kind of like to slow it down a little bit more. But it'll be fun. This will be a fun series. Game 1 at 8 o'clock tonight. And I hearken back to the day at Madison Square Garden when Reggie Miller put the New York Knicks and Spike Lee on blast. I'm going to pull that up right here. You've heard it. You've seen it numerous times over the last couple of decades. But, man, to me, it never gets old watching Reggie Miller do his thing at Madison Square Garden.
That's my bad, Sam. I do not have that queued up. That is my bad.
All right, we'll wait till you get that queued up.
Yeah. I will find that for you.
But what Reggie Miller did that day on the big stage, under the bright lights, under the pressure, and then and then he would turn to Spike Lee with the choke sign. I mean, and don't disrespect to Spike Lee because he's been sitting in those seats for probably over 3 decades. And Spike Lee, you got to give it to him, man. He's there all the time. through the good times and the bad, Spike Lee's been there courtside at Madison Square Garden. He's not one of those Johnny-come-lately fad New York Knicks fans. Oh, I better go to the game tonight because I want to get on TV. I gotta resuscitate my acting or singing career. I hope they put the cameras on me, so I better go, and I better sit courtside so I can be on the big screen tonight. Spike Lee don't do that. Spike's there every game, every year, season tickets, on the floor, got his Knicks gear, got his program, got his glasses on, he's got his hat on. You got to give it up to Spike, man. He's there win, lose, or draw. All right, it is coming up on 8 minutes until the top of the hour. We will step away. Phone lines are open at 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. Lots to get to here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us. We'll be with you till 6 o'clock tonight on 1310 WDPN.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago. I was let go when, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. But it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger. Some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease. Many don't even know it.
I just knew that I wasn't the high-performing person I used to be. Pieces of my past are being erased. I was lucky we caught this. Yes. Will be treatments. We need to invest even more in research and finding treatments and cures.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program has invested more than $175 million in breakthrough research.
If your loved one or you yourself are sitting there thinking, something is wrong, I'm not who I used to be, you can get some answers and you can get them for free.
Call us at 1-855-345-6237 or visit us online at brightfocus.org/brainhealth to learn more.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below. You take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin program, 330-821-1310. You can text the show anytime. We welcome those texts. We'll read them live on the air, and we'll do our best to respond. You can text us on the text line, 330-924-7088. Louisville has a new boys basketball coach. Dave Wirtz will become the new coach over at Louisville. Hey, I want to shout out Jackson Polar Bear basketball standout Cam Weekly. He is committed to play his college basketball at Mount Union. Congratulations, Cam. Can't wait to call your games again. Cam Weekly has committed to play his college basketball at the University of Mount Union. He will study business and sports management. Good luck, Cam, and congratulations, my man. That is cool. I love seeing. I'm going to tell you what, man. Look, and I know we cover Mount Union. And what Mike Fuline has done with that program since he came in has been nothing short of incredible. The basketball program at Mount was in dire straits when Mike Fuline took over. And it wasn't long, and he had him in the Final Four. He had him in the NCAA Division III championship game. And if it wasn't for the COVID crap, he probably would have had a championship a couple of years before. Can't say enough about what he's done with the Purple Raider program. And I love seeing guys that you watch in high school, whether you're a parent, you're a fan, you're a member of the media, and to watch these kids play, maybe freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and they do really, really well, and they're great kids. And then they go on to their college basketball career, and you can watch them again. Like, look at the job Mike has done plucking a lot of the great high school talent around the area. Add Cam Weekly to that list. Look at the great job Jeff Young has done at Walsh University, plucking local talent from the area. I mean, he's got a tremendous class coming in over at Walsh University. Malone does a great job. And you love to watch these kids, just flourish. Men become boys. And once you're done with your high school career, you got to turn it up a lot because the heat gets turned up. I don't care if it's D1, D2, D3. I don't care what it is. Okay? It's different. It's not high school anymore. And the kids know they got to get in there and work. They got to run. They got to lift. They got to study. They got to shoot. They got to do everything. It's a 365 thing now. It's a year-long project. No matter what the sport is, it's 365. You're always training. You're always trying to get better. So shout out and congratulations again to Cam Weekly. He'll be playing some hoops over here for the Purple Raiders of Mount Union beginning this coming season. All right, before we get to the top of the hour news, I wanted to do a quick flashback. We promised you take you back in time here to Madison Square Garden, and Reggie Miller and the Indiana Pacers taking on those New York Knicks as the rivals collided, and Reggie Miller did this in the postseason.
Are in this thing consistently. What's the secret?
I think preparation.
All right, we're having trouble getting Reggie queued up, but we'll work on that, get that to you here on the other side of the hour. But what he did, 2 threes, couple of free throws, it was incredible. When it happened at that time, because nobody thought Indiana was coming back. It was the big bad New York Knicks, remember? And I remember Tom Hammond had the call on NBC that day, and I think we've got that. Let's go to that and pick it up. Reggie Miller against New York City.
105.99, 18.7 seconds left. Miller for 3, and he got it. Reggie Miller with a clutch tray, and it's 105-102. And a steal. Miller retreats to the three-point line and hits again. Reggie Miller made a 3, stole the ball, raced behind the three-point line, and hit again.
One of the greatest clutch playoff performers of his generation has apparently done it again.
Incredible. That was Tom Hammond and Bob Costas there at the end. But I remember watching that. I'm like, you have got to be kidding. And then I bet I watched that highlight 15 times that night because I just couldn't believe it. Reggie Miller was clutch. He was clutch. Now he never got the big prize, but they love him in Indiana, no question about it. Knicks Pacers tonight, game 1, Madison Square Garden, a little bit after 8 p.m. All right, we're going to take a break. News and weather coming up. We'll keep our eye on the weather for you here as well during the break. And when we come back, we'll get into the big hour number 2 of the Sam Bourquin Show. 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. For the second time this week, President Trump is meeting with Republicans trying to shore up support for the GOP budget reconciliation bill. He's meeting this afternoon with holdouts of the Freedom Caucus at the White House. House Speaker Mike Johnson, meantime, downplaying the troubles over the spending cuts and tax breaks.
There's a lot of listening and a lot of discussion. It's been very productive. The guys that still have concerns we're working through. Everybody around here knows this is the process. This is what we do. It's a very deliberative, slow process. Sometimes it goes slower than most of us want, but that's how the founders designed this.
The Pentagon confirming it has accepted the Qatari plane offered as a gift to the U.S. to use temporarily as Air Force One. That plane still needs to be retrofitted. Louisiana authorities say they've arrested 2 people for assisting several of the inmates who escaped the Orleans jail Friday. 5 inmates have been captured. 5 others remain on the loose. This is ABC News.
Summer is calling, and guess what? Macy's has the answers for every adventure, with new swim trends and sandals to take you from the beach to the beach bar. Plus, linen suits from Tommy Hilfiger and Michael Kors, and dresses from CC to take you from brunch to the dinner party. Even better, get it all for 25 to 60% off at our Memorial Day sale. So wherever this season takes you, make Macy's your first destination. But hurry, this sale is going on now. Savings off sale and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. 9 to 13.5 years in prison is the sentence issued to a Canton man who pleaded guilty to an attempted murder charge. Stark County Common Pleas Judge Natalie Hopp sentenced 30-year-old Markelo Richardson Monday. He also pleaded guilty to felonious assault charges. Both charges include gun specifications. Richardson must also register as a violent offender. He shot 37-year-old Devin Spencer 3 times at a gas station on Mahoning Road Northeast in Canton, January 4th. Richardson also shot into the back of a car in which a 4-year-old child was sitting. A Tuscarawas County judge has handed down punishment to a masculine man who played a role in the dumping of a woman's body. 38-year-old Victor McCoy was sentenced Monday in Common Pleas Court to 9 months in prison. He pleaded guilty last month to charges of gross abuse of a corpse and failure to report a death. 36-year-old Ashley Morris of East Sparta was recently sentenced to 6 months in the Stark Regional Community Corrections Center and 2 years probation. She pleaded guilty to gross abuse of a corpse in February. In September 2023, the family of 27-year-old Katie Fuller reported her missing to Canton police. Her body was found along North Orchard Road in Sandy Township nearly 2 months later. Authorities determined she had died of an overdose. The legal guardians of a 3-year-old Canton boy who died earlier this month now face a possible indictment. 42-year-old Demetrius Givens and 37-year-old Jamie Thompson of Canton appeared Monday in Canton Municipal Court. They waived their right to a preliminary hearing and the case was bound over. Givens and Thompson are being held on $1 million bonds. They're charged with involuntary manslaughter and child endangering. Givens and Thompson are accused of not properly feeding and caring for the child, causing him to starve to death. The activity occurred between October 1st and May 4th. The boy was taken to Mercy Hospital, where he died May 5th. Louisville City Council Monday approved changes to the nuisance ordinance. More from WDPN's David Schurer.
Properties deemed unsafe for occupancy or blighted to the extent that it interferes with the peaceful and lawful use of occupants of proximate property or conduct of activities which annoys the peace and safety of others, or unsanitary rubbish, waste, leaves, clippings, which could become dangerous to the public health and attractive to vermin and rodents, could be cited and fined and made to fully abate the matter. Cleanup at city expense would be responsibility of the owner and include a $250 administrative charge.
Changes are in the works for staffing at Malone University. In a letter, President Gregory Miller said Monday that the school is eliminating 15 full-time and 12 part-time employees as it reallocates services. He says the adjustments will re-image the way to do work and gain fiscal efficiency. Vice President of Student Development is among jobs being cut. The department will merge with the Center for Student Success and the Office of Multicultural Services. Development employees Showers will report to Provost Christina Schneiders. 5 full-time resident directors will become part-time. Malone is adding positions. Those include a dean of students, associate dean, and campus pastor. 8 new full-time faculty members will be added in the fall. 2 part-time workers will switch to full-time status. The trial of a Wellsville man charged with attempting to kill a woman has been pushed back to July 29th. The new date for 35-year-old Michael Stacy was set Monday by Columbiana County Common Pleas Judge Megan Bickerton. She agreed to his defense attorney's motion for a continuance, in which he cited a need for more time to go over information with his client. Stacy pleaded not guilty in December to charges of attempted murder, felonious assault, attempted aggravated arson, abduction, and trespass. He was slated for trial June 3rd. Stacy is accused of hitting a woman with a blunt object October 17th. Wellsville police discovered all the burners on the stove open. A new final status hearing is scheduled for July 21st. A teen is in critical but stable condition after being run over by a vehicle in Youngstown. Police were called to a home on Himrod Avenue on the city's east side early Sunday for a report of a pedestrian accident. They found a 15-year-old girl inside with leg injuries. She was taken to St. Elizabeth Health Center. Police say a car driven by a man drove over both of her legs while she was fighting with another female. The incident is under investigation. Bond is set at $250,000 for a man accused of causing a fatal 2-vehicle crash near New Middletown. 66-year-old Walter Bolt of Struthers appeared for arraignment today in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court. He pleaded not guilty to charges of aggravated vehicular homicide, aggravated vehicular assault, and OVI. Bolt was indicted last week and arrested Monday. Highway Patrol says a pickup driven by him was southbound on Route 170 March 3rd when it struck a northbound car driven by 44-year-old Angela Brown of New Middletown. Bolt's blood alcohol level was reportedly 0.215. Brown died at the crash scene. Her 15-year-old son, Jason Daff, died at a hospital. A 12-year-old son suffered serious injuries. The Highway Patrol says a single-vehicle crash in Solon killed a Warren boy Sunday night. The wreck occurred on Route 422 near Harper Road around 7 p.m. 29-year-old Benjamin Hoke of Warren was driving an SUV eastbound when it went off the road, overcorrected, rolled over, and struck a guardrail. 10-year-old Max Davis was thrown from the vehicle. He was taken to a hospital where he died. Hoke and his passengers, a 34-year-old Warren woman and a 6-year-old Youngstown girl, were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Troopers say seatbelts were not in use at the time of the crash. It's 64 degrees in Alliance at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. The forecast is next, a service of Canterbury Villa of Alliance. I'm Jeff Mears.
Send your loved ones to a place that cares and a place that they can trust. They'll find a place that feels like home at Canterbury Villa in Alliance. They will provide the highest level of care to their residents when it comes to skilled nursing, rehabilitation, long-term care, and Alzheimer's care. At Canterbury Villa, your loved ones become family. Located on Freshley Avenue, schedule a free visit today by calling 330-821-4000 and ask for Samantha Nutter. At Canterbury Villa, they walk the talk.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Showers and possibly a thunderstorm for the rest of your Wednesday afternoon. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall, a high near 65. For the overnight, cloudy skies, showers and thunderstorms likely both before and after midnight with a low around 49. Showers again Thursday with a high reaching 52. That's the AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Are you ready to up your mealtime game with a beautiful new dining suite? How about your movie nights on the couch? Is more comfortable seating on your list this year? Maybe you just need a better night's rest. Whatever the case, when we spend time at home with our families, we all want quality, comfort, and names we can trust. That's why Grove's appliances, furniture sets, and even their mattresses make all the difference. With a beautiful showroom full of ideas and over 700 fabric choices for furniture, you'll be sure to find something that will fit beautifully into your home. On a budget, Grove has a scratch and dent room filled with appliances with minor aesthetic blemishes that can help you replace that fridge on the fritz for a fraction of the cost. Come and see why Grove is better than big box stores. Explore your options and get to know Grove's amazing staff and stellar service team to help with all of your needs.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
You've always enjoyed an active lifestyle, hiking with family, resort vacations, the occasional trip to the spa, and nights out with friends at your favorite restaurants. You want and need your lifestyle to follow you into your retirement years. Now, imagine a place with peaceful surroundings, resort amenities, and easy access to city life. It's just around the corner at Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks has earned a reputation as more than a retirement destination, but also a place to call home. An independent consultant for senior living rated Copeland Oaks with a perfect score. And it's easy to see why. Maintain your lifestyle on the beautiful Copeland Oaks campus with all the amenities you love. And if you need it down the road, assistance is there. Keep living your life to its fullest at Copeland Oaks, your all-inclusive senior living resort. Visit CopelandOaks.com for more information. That's CopelandOaks.com.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking it
making it difficult because it's Alexander. That's inside, pulls back, he stumbles a bit. Count it at one. You think you're in the game, and then all of a sudden, it's blowout city.
The thing I like is that they lost the first quarter in Game 7, lost the first quarter tonight, but the way they finish games, it's what sets them up.
Puts it in the air to center field. Doesn't matter if it's gone. It's caught in center. Shohei tags. He comes home, and now we go home.
Bennett scores! Their first shot in over 15 minutes. Sam Bennett with a power play goal, extending the Panthers' lead to 4-1.
Welcome back, hour 2 of the Sam Bourquin Show. A little ode to the passing of Norm yesterday. George Wendt of Cheers passed away at the age of 76. That just happened right when we were getting off the air yesterday. So we're going to mix in some Cheers music and some Cheers scenes today with George Wendt, and hope you enjoy those as we move along the afternoon. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show. It is hour 2 here on 1310 WDPN. Of course, we are streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com. Don't forget, you can always watch and listen to us on your phone, your computer, wherever you got us. Just go to the Q92 Radio Facebook page or the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. You can watch us Monday through Friday, 3 until 6 p.m. Sammy B here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side. Just went outside during the break. At least in Alliance, the rain has stopped. For how long, I don't know. But it has finally stopped, and we had a little bit of, I don't want to say major flooding, but we've had some water pile up over here outside in our parking lot and in and around the area. So if you're out and about in the area, please be careful. If you see anything, areas that are flooded, maybe some, power line, crazy stuff, tree branches, what have you, give us a ring so we can pass the information along, and we'll keep you in tune with what's going on here. 330-821-1310. Game 1 of the doubleheader at Target Field today. The Guardians give up a run in the bottom of the ninth. The Twins beat Cleveland by the score of 6-5. Game 2 now is underway. I want to thank Jordan Miller from Jordan Miller News joining us in the 3 o'clock hour. And don't forget now, West Branch School Board meeting tonight at 5 p.m. Could be some more fireworks there. We'll keep you covered here on 1310 WDPN. Also, we've got Todd Blackledge coming up, NBC Sports, outstanding college football analyst, one of the best around. Todd will be checking in. We'll talk some college football with you at around 5:15. That's in about 1 hour from now. Eastern Conference Finals get underway tonight. Indiana and New York, game 1 of that series. Last night, no contesto. Oklahoma City all over the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Thunder take an early lead there in that best-of-7 series, 1-0. But look for the Timberwolves to make some adjustments here and get back in that series. I wouldn't be surprised if that thing ended up going 7 games. Some news out of the NFL today. The tush push will stay. It went to a vote today by the NFL owners, and the majority says the tush push can stay for at least one more year. Also, forgot to get this to you at the outset. We were so busy doing different things. The Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day, and you can get this on AM 1310 WDPN, the Sam Bourquin on X and our Facebook page. If you could play one of these instruments, which one would it be? A, the piano, B, the guitar, C, the saxophone, or D, the drums? Out of those four instruments, which one would you really like to learn how to play? Piano, guitar, saxophone, or the drums? That's the Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. Coming up on this day in sports history at the bottom of the 5 o'clock hour, we'll hear Ken Griffey Jr.'s home run, number 200. Roger Clemens made the cut today, and we got some other cool stuff to tell you about on this day in sports history. Also, I could just keep going here. Louisville has hired their new head boys basketball coach. It will be Dave Wirtz. He will take over the Louisville Leopards basketball program. Want to shout out Cam Weekly of Jackson. He is committed to play his college basketball at the University of Mount Union. And Bryce Broom, Glen Oak standout. He is going to play his college baseball at Walsh University. Is that enough information to pack into the first 5 minutes here in the 4 o'clock hour? But it keeps coming in, and we'll keep putting it out there. Phone lines open, by the way, at 330-821-1310. Okay. George Wendt passed away yesterday at the age of 76. And I guess he just died in his sleep. And we were talking about this after the show yesterday because the news broke right around the time we were going off the air. I was like, man, I was a little bummed out. You know, we all watched Cheers. We were big fans. We watched it when it was first run. We watched it in syndication. You can still watch it now if you can figure out what channel it's on. And I forget who I turned to. I don't know if it was Jeff or Ryan or Ryan Keller, but I'm like, 76. That's not that old. That's just not that old anymore. I don't know what the male or female life expectancy is nowadays, but 76, folks, that's not old at all. And that kind of made me sad a little bit when we found out that George Wendt had passed away. So I figured today, just in honoring Norm from Cheers, we got some audio clips from some of the shows back in the day when it ran on NBC for many, many years. And first of all, I want to bring up a Norm montage. This is about 7 or 8 times where Norm is just kind of making his way into the bar, and he bellies up to the bar in his favorite stool.
Todd, my nipples. It's freezing out there. Afternoon, everybody. Hey, Norm. What's the story, Norm? Thirsty guy walks into a bar. You finish it. Afternoon, everybody. Norm! What you up to, Norm? My ears. Evening, everybody.
Norman?
What's new, Norm? Most of my wife. Evening, everybody.
Norman?
Beer, Norm? Nah, I probably just drink it. Afternoon, everybody. Norm!
Norman?
What's going, Norm? Well, science is seeking a cure for thirst. I happen to be the guinea pig. Evening, everybody. Here, Norm? That's that sudsy amber stuff, right? Yeah. I've been hearing good things about it. Afternoon, everybody. What can I do for you, Norm? Well, I am going to need something to kill time before my second beer. How about a first one? You got it. Howdy, sports fans. What'll it be, Norm? Fame, fortune, fast women. Yeah? How about a beer? Even better.
Rest in peace. Gosh darn it. Norm of Shears. George went past at the age of 76 yesterday. Another scene that I found that I don't know, this is Norm. This was one of the scenes where he comes in to Cheers and he's ready to go back to his old stool, his favorite stool up at the bar. And somebody was sitting in the seat.
There.
Excuse me, I was sitting there.
Oh, there was no one here when we came in.
No, I mean yesterday. And really, since the Ford administration.
We're just waiting for our table up at Melville's.
So you'll move?
Look, there's lots of other stools.
Oh. Look, sounds good. I'm Norm.
I'm Jeffrey. This is Hillary.
It's nice to meet you. What do you do, Norm?
I sit there.
Oh, that is classic. That is classic. And here I believe this is from maybe a scene from the last show. And Norm and Sammy Malone are just kind of sitting at the bar.
I didn't want to say this in front of the others, but you know what I think the most important thing in life is? It's love. You want to know what I love? Dear Norm? Yeah, a quick one. Well, Sammy, I love that stool. If there's a heaven, I don't want to go there unless my stool is waiting for me. And I'll tell you what, even God better not be on it. You wouldn't dare. I don't think it matters what you love, Sammy. Could be a person, could be a thing. As long as you love it totally, completely, without judgment.
That was something. There you go. Again, rest in peace, Norm. 76 years of age. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show here at AM 1310 WDPN. Lots to get to on this rainy Wednesday afternoon here in the Carnation City. Stay with us.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A. absent. Julio M. absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs like food, transportation, and healthcare.
Olivia H. absent. Preston L. absent.
But site coordinators from communities and schools connect kids to the resources they need so they show up prepared and ready to learn.
Jacob O. present.
Visit communitiesandschools.org. Being present matters.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
And welcome back. 25 minutes past the hour. here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, stream live at AM1310WDPN.com. For now, the rain has stopped, but still we get some puddles out there, so be careful if you're out and about here in the area. 330-821-1310 is our number to call, 330-821-1310. Guardians drop their first ball game today to the Minnesota Twins. Your final score there was Minnesota 6 and Cleveland 5. So the losing continues for the Guardians. Game 2 is underway at Target Field. As of now, no score in the top of the third inning between Minnesota and Cleveland. And I betcha the Detroit Tigers won today. Yes, they did. They knocked off St. Louis. The Motor City Kitties beat the Cardinals today by the score of 5-1. All right, our very own Jeff Mears has wandered into the studio from out of the rain out there on Smith Avenue. Jeffrey, how's your afternoon going today?
I'm trying to stay dry.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Okay, so you were listening to the show, which we appreciate, and you said you had a funny story about Norm from Cheers you wanted to kind of
well I guess it's a Norm referencing story.
Okay.
It's not about Norm specifically, but this just shows you the cultural impact of that character.
Yes.
I think that's the key thing to remember here. I was still in school when the show was on. So keep that in mind when we're talking about this little anecdote. A classmate of mine that graduated a year after me, we were both in middle school at the time. So this is 7th grade, I believe. And for some reason, this thing got started in his particular class. It was his math or science teacher. I don't remember which one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know who started it, but he was one of these people that sort of suggested that by participating, it continue. So what it involved was every time somebody came in, and it was while the teacher had you working on an assignment, so nobody is saying anything, random person walks in, doesn't matter who it is, everybody looks up and says, Norm. And so he'd walk in, everybody say, Norm. I'd walk in, Norm. This just went on. I don't know how long this went on. Several days. Finally, the teacher just got a little exasperated by it. Say, okay, knock it up. So, can you imagine another sitcom character generating something like that?
No, I mean, there's so many tentacles off the Cheers tree. And no matter who the character, whether it was Sam Malone or if it was Norm or if it was John Ratzenberg, the mailman, or if it was Woody, whoever. I mean, gosh, that show was so good. It was so good. How long did that go? Do you remember offhand how many years?
It was like 11 seasons. Because it started in 82, if I remember, and ran through 93.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I knew I was around 11, 12. So I didn't get the gist of it early.
Mm.
But man, once I figured everything out, I was sucked in, man. And I still try to find it if it pops up anywhere in syndication, whether it's any of the channels that we have or Tubi or Peacock, whatever. I always try to just squeeze a couple of episodes in because I just think it's so good. And I know I sound like an old guy, but they don't make them anymore like that.
Did you know that there was a Cleveland sports connection to the Sam Malone character?
Yes, refresh my memory.
Okay, about
a minute. Go ahead.
Long-time Cleveland baseball fans will remember Sudden Sam McDowell. One of the great fireballers of the 60s and 70s, whose career was unfortunately derailed later on by alcoholism. Mm-hmm. And apparently that story played some role in the creation of the Sam Malone character because, of course, in Cheers, he was an ex-baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know how much of that. It may have been a composite of more than one person, but that apparently was at least one real-life person from Cleveland sports history that the Sam Malone character was based on.
Very cool. Such a great show. All right, Jeff, we got about 30 seconds. I want to get in our Sam Bourquin poll question of the day. You ready?
Got it.
All right. Out of these 4 instruments, which one would you really like to learn how to play? A, the piano, B, the guitar, C, the saxophone, D, the drums.
Drums.
Well, that was quick.
Who wouldn't want to bash away at something? And I've done guitar. I took a year of lessons, and it was a complete experience and frustration.
Oh, no.
So no guitar.
I got to be honest with you. I would love to learn, and I mean really, really love to learn how to play every single instrument that I just mentioned. Saxophone would be my number one, but I would love to learn how to play the drums, guitar, and the piano. I just don't know if I'm smart enough to figure out how to learn. And we'll leave it at that. Jeffrey, always a pleasure. Looking forward to your news, which is coming up next here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. House Republican leaders are still hoping they can reach internal agreement on the so-called Big Beautiful Bill that would enact the president's tax, defense, and border priorities. President Trump summoned some of the holdouts for talks late today. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more from Washington.
For now, the chair of the conservative House Freedom Caucus says he's a no without more spending cuts. But ahead of talks at the White House, the House Speaker continued to sound a note of optimism. Mike Johnson told reporters that very productive conversations are still underway with the GOP holdouts.
The guys that still have concerns, we're working through. Everybody around here knows this is the process. This is what we do.
A White House statement says failure to pass the package would amount to the ultimate betrayal. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump used a White House meeting to confront South African President Cyril Ramaphosa with baseless claims of the systematic killing of white farmers in that country. Trump said people are fleeing South Africa for their own safety. At one point, he dimmed the lights in the Oval Office to play a video of a far-left politician playing an anti-apartheid song that included lyrics about killing farmers. Ramaphosa pushed back against Trump's accusations, saying of the behavior alleged by the U.S. president, quote, "We are completely opposed to that," end quote. During that visit, a reporter asked about the $400 million luxury jet that the U.S. is getting from Qatar.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? You know, what are you talking about? You know, you gotta get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are you're a terrible reporter.
The jet is expected to become Air Force One and then will go to Trump's presidential library. There are questions concerning the legality of the gift that have been raised by lawmakers from both sides of the aisle. A lawyer for a worker charged with aiding the New Orleans jailbreak by 10 prisoners says the employee shut off water to unclog a toilet, not to allow the men to cut the pipe to open an escape route. Sterling Williams was a 33-year-old maintenance worker at the jail. He was arrested Tuesday in connection with Friday's jailbreak. Authorities previously said that Williams had been told by one of the inmates to turn off the water to a toilet. Behind it was a hole that 10 men slipped through. Attorney Michael Kennedy rejected the accusation in comments to the Associated Press. It's 63 degrees in Alliance at 4:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the Alliance area weather forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
For the remainder of your afternoon, showers and possibly a thunderstorm. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall, a high near 65. For the overnight, showers and thunderstorms are likely. Otherwise cloudy, cool, a low near 49. Can't rule out another chance of showers Thursday with a high reaching 52. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
In classrooms across the country, chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A., grade 4, absent. Julio M., grade 6, absent.
Aisha S., grade 12, absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs, like transportation, healthcare, a working computer, mental health support. The list goes on.
Olivia H., absent. Preston L., absent.
Chloe B., absent.
The reasons why they're absent are very real, and yet the solution is someone present to help them along their path. When site coordinators from communities and schools are on hand, they connect kids to the resources they need. And when they do, 99% of students are present and remain in school throughout the year.
Jacob O., grade 10,
present.
Communities and Schools works directly with students, helping them overcome obstacles to succeed in school and in life. Learn more at communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got...
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show here on AM 1310 WDPN. Streaming live at AM 1310 WDPN.com. Hope you are staying dry. I know it's not easy. We're just outside again. Oh, look at the rain piling up, the puddles, the gloomy skies. What is going on? Seriously, what is going on with the weather? Remember the old saying when you were growing up, the grandparents, April showers brings May flowers. Well, what is it now?
Well, I mean, Ohio is always like a month behind, so you gotta
with a lot of things.
Yeah, you gotta. It's May flowers or May. No, it would be May showers bring June flowers in Ohio.
So I was thinking like April showers brings May showers, which brings June uncertainty. I don't know, something along those lines.
Well, see, the problem is in Ohio in April, it's still kind of winter for the first half of the month, half the time.
Right. Well, hey, I bet you a lot of you are going to crank up the furnace here the next couple of nights. It's going to get down to like 40, 41 degrees. Now, ours popped on, oh, man, was it the day before? Maybe it popped on a couple of days ago for like a minute. And I was like, are you serious right now? I almost ran over to that thermostat and chopped it with an axe. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. But I bet you the next couple of days, it's you're going to need it, especially at nighttime. My son and I were down. We were down in the basement on Monday night or Tuesday night. And, well, what's today? Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Tuesday night.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, we better turn the heat on. Or I better grab a couple of blankets. We were down there watching a movie, and I'm like, it's cold down here. And I'm the guy that never, I shouldn't say never. The older I get, the less I'm going to say this. I really never get cold. Like, cold and, cross the arms and put a coat on guy. I mean, I wear shorts pretty much 365 days a year. But it got chilly the other night, and it's going to get chilly the next couple of nights. So make sure you're prepared there at your residence. 330-821-1310. Guardians and Twins, still no score. Fourth inning at Target Field. Guardians lost the first game today by the score of 6-5. Louisville has a new head boys basketball coach. It is Dave Wirtz, as he will be recommended to the school board and hired. So congratulations to Coach Dave Wirtz, and we'll look to get him on the program here within the next couple of days. Let's see here. I want to shout out Cam Weekly of the Jackson Polar Bears. He will be attending the University of Mount Union to continue his basketball and academic career. And shout out to Bryce Broom from Glen Oak, outstanding multi-sport athlete. Bryce is going to play his college baseball for Coach Tim Meade and Walsh University. So congratulations there. We have our three question. That's tomorrow. 3-question Thursdays tomorrow. Get it right. Today, it is the Sam Bourquin Show. Poll question of the day. Of these 4 instruments, which one would you really like to learn how to play the most? And that is A, the piano, B, guitar, C, saxophone, or D, the drums. Rainsburg, I've got you pegged as a guitar guy. Am I right?
That would probably be the most accurate. Yeah. I wanted to learn saxophone when I was in middle school, but I did choir instead, so I never did learn an instrument.
Out of those 4, saxophone is my number 1. I am a huge Kenny G fan. Dave Koz. Just, if I could just learn how to play for like 10 minutes, that would make my life if I could learn how to play the sax. I used to get drum sets all the time growing up as a kid. Like between the ages of, I don't know, when do you start asking Santa Claus for stuff? When you're 3?
Oof, as soon as you could talk.
2? Maybe it was 2. I don't know. But I bet you when I was 4, that was the go-to. Bring me a drum set. That's all I wanted. Drum set. By God, I got a drum set almost every year. And every year they would get a little bit better, a little sturdier, a couple more drums, a couple more sticks, a couple more, bigger and better as you move along. I said, this Santa guy's pretty cool, hooking me up here. And then I don't know. I lost the will. I broke too many of my drumsticks. I had to start stealing the wooden spoons. Then I broke those, and then that was all she wrote. But the saxophone, God, does anybody give saxophone lessons around the area? I'm sure they do.
You'd be hard pressed to find like music lessons apart from schools,
I bet, because I would love how to learn to play the electric guitar. My son actually has a guitar at home and an amp. He hasn't touched it in 10 years. And the piano, I think would be cool because it's just, if you can play the piano, like, you're the dude. Okay, you got it going on. But who even gives saxophone lessons anymore? To me, I would love to play the alto sax. If I could master that, I would be happy. But I just don't know if I could pick it up. Like, I honestly, I don't mean to demean myself. I don't think I'm smart enough to pick up on how to absorb the teaching of instruments. I look at, how you read music, you read sheet music. I'm like, this might as well be in 15 different languages, because I have no idea what's going on here. No idea. None. But man, I would love to learn how to play. It would think about the most patient person you know. I would need that times 100,000 to get through teaching me how to learn how to play an instrument. I would love to learn how to play. I used to, when I was a kid, and whether I was with my mom or dad or my sister, and we would go into random stores, excuse me, and I would check out the drum sets. I would check out the Casio keyboards or whatever they are, and I would just start going over and play them. I thought I was making music. I'd hit the drum beats. I'd go back to the organ, or I'd play the electro, whatever they used to call those things. And I would just sit there and play them. I'd turn them up all the way, and all the other customers were walking up and down the aisle going, what the hell is this kid doing? Where are his parents? I was just playing away. No rhyme, no rhythm, no reason, no nothing. Just banging away on the Casio keyboard in the middle of the store until, one of my parents would come over and pull me by the earlobe and yank me out of the store. But those were good times. I would do that with the drum sets too. Just start pew, 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 boom, tss, tss, boom, boom. Just for no reason. Just loved it. But I never had any interest of like playing in a band or playing in the band in school. Never. I just playing the instrument, learning how to play a certain instrument to me just would have been so cool. So cool. But I bet that those days are probably come and gone. Anyway, that's our poll question of the day. Most people want to learn how to play the piano. Let me read some of these. John says piano. Bill says saxophone. I'm looking for all my saxophone players out there. Doug Parton says, I want to learn how to play the guitar. Donald says, definitely the piano. Glenn Groom says, Sammy, I want to learn how to play all of them so I can start my own band. Go get them, Glenn. Kimberly Lehman says, give me the piano and give me the guitar. Amy McBride Burkett. Hey, Amy. She wants to learn how to play the piano. Jamie Campbell, off the board. She's going violin. How about that? She relays a quick story. She says, Sam, I used to ask my mom about playing the violin. My mom would say, quote, you're not playing that damn squeaky thing. You will play what I tell you to play. Jimmy Kincaid says piano. Tommy Michaelides says, give me the electric guitar. Scotty D, he says, I want to learn how to play the kazoo. Of course you do. 330-821-1310 is our number. You can always text the program as well at 330-924-7088. Todd Blackledge, college football analyst from NBC Sports, is coming up here at 5:15. That's in about a half hour from now. We'll check in on the Guardians, and we got some other cool stuff coming your way as well. As I mentioned earlier, the NFL today said that they are going to allow the tush push to stay around. It went to vote today. Matter of fact, I got the breakdown of the teams and how they voted here today. I thought at like noon today, I thought they were going to vote it out. And then right before the show came on, the owners voted, and they decided to say it was okay to keep it. So here's the breakdown of the NFL teams and who voted for the tush push and who voted against it. Against the ban, meaning that these teams were okay with it. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, the Lions, the Jaguars, Dolphins, Patriots, Saints, Jets, Titans, Browns. They voted to keep the tush push. Teams that wanted it gone, I'm not going to go all into them, but I always see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 10 teams voted against the ban, and 22 teams voted for it. So I'm guessing you needed 75% here, or I don't know if you needed a unanimous vote. I'm not sure there, but that's what happened there. And think about this for a second. And the teams that wanted the tush push banned, they kept going back to it's about the health and the trying to avoid serious injuries, because it's kind of a wedge play, so to speak. So if the defense knew it was coming, you basically had 22 guys lined up within maybe a yard of the football field of one another. So you had a lot of bodies there. You had your linemen, your quarterback, your tight ends, your running back, everybody on defense, all kind of smushed, all tried to smush together there. And they kept saying, well, it's gonna cause more injuries, blah blah blah, trying to keep the safety of the game and all those different things that the NFL is always trying to spin on you when they want to make certain rule changes and keep the scoring up. They took away. They've basically taken away the onside kick, and we were talking about that back in the office yesterday. So the tush push, excuse me. Time for some water real quick. Sometimes I wish that camera wasn't on. But anyhow, so the tush push will stay. And then I started thinking about the onside kick again and how the NFL comes up with these different rule changes every year. And they've basically taken that away. To me, the onside kick, especially late in the game, when sometimes it's your only chance to get back into a game or maybe tie the game as the minutes and the seconds are ticking down. They basically took that away. It was a ridiculous rule change. And what is it now? You can only do it, under 2 minutes to go in a game? You have to notify the other team that you're actually going to do it? What are we doing here? The onside kick, it was all about what? The element of surprise. It was all about the element of surprise. I mean, look at some of the high school games. Look at some of the college games. Some teams are doing it on the opening kickoff. Some teams do it on the kickoff coming out of the second half. Some do it after their second score. They just put it in their script. That's when we're going to do it. That was the wow factor of the onside kick. It was the element of surprise. Who would think that's going to happen now? There's no way they're going to do that. And boom, they do it. They recover it, and they go on to score, get a touchdown, a field goal, what have you. All about the element of surprise. The NFL has taken that away. What are the percentages of recovered onside kicks in the NFL now? The last couple years, like what, 0.0001%? It's nearly impossible because, first of all, you have to tell the other team you're going to do it. You're limited to when you can do it, the end of the game, and you can't load up on certain sides of the ball, of the tee. It's got to be equal. You can't put 10 guys on one side or 9 guys on one side, the kicker, and 1 guy on the other. You can't do anything radical or crazy like that anymore. The NFL says, no, you can't do that. So they've taken that away. And it's really kind of taken some of the drama, some of the hope away from some of the teams down the stretch if they're coming back. And all of a sudden, you got a couple touchdowns in the last couple of minutes. Maybe you've needed multiple. How about the chances where you've had to have multiple onside kicks and you've been able to get them? And it's like, holy cow, we were down 21 with a minute and a half to go. We got a chance to go down there and tie the game now. Yeah, you're not going to see that anymore. You're not going to see that late drama. And you would figure with the NFL, what they're built on is what? Drama, ratings, close games, eyeballs on TVs, right? But did they step in and they take away the onside kick? Just, I don't know if they'll ever bring that back. Look what they've done to the kicking game, period. How anticlimactic now is the kickoff, right? To start the game. Guys are banging the ball 15, 20, 30 yards out of the back of the end zone. Then they put this new rule in. You can try to kick it in the drop zone. And then the guy's got to return it. You can't get a running it's insane. And some people are starting to say, well, they'll throw their hands up in the air. Well, let's just let them start 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. I'm sorry. That's no way to start a football game. It isn't. It's bringing the crowd to their feet. It's the crescendo. It's the national anthem. It's the flyover. Between 50 and 80,000 people up screaming and hollering, depending on what stadium you're in. Guy puts the ball on the tee. Defense, you ready? Offense, you ready? Let's line up. Blow the whistle. The official says, ball's ready for play, and the ball's in the air. That's how you start a football game. And that fun, that build-up, that crescendo, that fever pitch is kind of been taken away. Honestly, I miss it. I really do. 6 minutes until the top of the hour. We'll take our final break here. We'll come back and get you up to the top with the latest news and the weather coming up. Don't forget, NBC college football analyst extraordinaire Todd Blackledge will be joining the program at around 5:15 this afternoon. We'll check up on the Guardians and the Twins and we'll get you updated with all the news going on in your world. Stay with us. Much more to come here on the Sam Bourquin Show on a Wednesday on 1310 WDPN.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action in communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at rotary.org/action.
You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin program here on a rainy, imagine that, rainy Wednesday afternoon here in Alliance and all over Northeast Ohio. Phone lines open, 330-821-1310. Don't forget to follow, like, and share on all of our social media platforms, the WDPN Facebook page. We've been growing that page each and every day. If you haven't liked or shared or followed us yet, go to Facebook right now, if you can, and go to the WDPN Facebook page and give us a like, give us a follow. We certainly would appreciate it. Same deal on the Q92 Radio Sports Facebook page. Looking to grow that as well. And don't forget, you can watch us and listen to us Monday through Friday, 3 until 6 here on the Sam Bourquin Show on the Q92 Radio Facebook page and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Just a couple of minutes away before we get to the top of the hour. We're going to check out the college football landscape. We're going to take a little dive at today. Todd Blackledge, outstanding college football analyst for NBC Sports. He will be joining us on the program today. We'll chop it up with Todd a little bit around 5:15 this afternoon. Let me quickly get you one more update before we get you to the top of the hour. Baseball today at Target Field in Minneapolis. They finished up the suspended game today. Twins beat the Guardians by the score of 6-5. That was the first ball game today. Oh, in the second game, we are in the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's the Twins 1, Guardians nothing. The Tigers have already won today. They knocked off St. Louis by the score of 6-1. Louisville head basketball coach, new one, is Dave Wirtz. That broke about a couple hours ago. So congratulations to Dave Wirtz, the new head basketball coach of the Louisville Leopards. If you're out and about, be careful out there today. A lot of wind, lot of rain, a lot of puddles. Be careful if you're out and about this afternoon. The news and the weather, it's all coming up next. Keep it here, 1310 WDPN.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A vote on the sweeping reconciliation package stalled in a committee. President Trump meeting with members of the Freedom Caucus. Still holdouts on the latest version. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more.
President Trump has made it clear he wants this legislation passed quickly. He wants minimal last-minute tweaks to this bill to get it over the goal line. And Speaker Johnson has been even more clear that he wants this bill on the floor potentially as soon as tonight. But if it were to go to the floor right now, those hardliners still haven't given it their support.
President Trump earlier welcomed South Africa's president to the White House ahead of bilateral talks. The president also made unsupported claims of mass killings of white South Africans. Americans are expected to drive in record numbers this Memorial Day. Gas prices for the holiday will be the lowest in more than 2 decades. Gas Buddy estimates a gallon of regular will average $3.08 a gallon. This is ABC News.
Summer is calling, and guess what? Macy's has the answers for every adventure, with new swim trends and sandals to take you from the beach to the beach bar. Plus, linen suits from Tommy Hilfiger and Michael Kors, and dresses from CC to take you from brunch to the dinner party. Even better, get it all for 25 to 60% off at our Memorial Day sale. So wherever this season takes you, make Macy's your first destination. But hurry, this sale is going on now. Savings off sale and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Jeff Mears on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, it's 5:02. This news a service of Bonfort Glass. An Alliance man has been sentenced to 9 to 13 and a half years in prison for starting a fire in his apartment December 9th. 50-year-old James Burns was handed the sentence today by Stark County Common Pleas Judge Natalie Hopp. He pleaded guilty to 19 counts of aggravated arson. Burns set fire to his mattress, exited his apartment, locked the door, and left the building. The other 18 residents of the multifamily dwelling on North Mechanic Avenue had to evacuate. The building sustained heavy damage. 2 residents suffered minor injuries. Burns must register as an arsonist. Canton police are investigating the death of a pedestrian on Route 62 Tuesday night. 36-year-old Terry Barker of Alliance was reportedly crossing the highway at Kirby Avenue Northeast when he was hit by a westbound car. Barker was pronounced dead at the scene. The accident took place around 9:20. Barker had been released from the Stark County Jail earlier in the evening. He was arrested Wednesday on an obstructing justice charge in Alliance. The driver of the car, who called 911, was not hurt. Police say he is not suspected of being impaired. Anyone with information is asked to contact Canton Police. An attorney for a woman sued by neighbors after her Alliance home fell into disrepair says he's trying to resolve their concerns. Scott Gwynn tells the repository plans are to put the Overlook Drive residence on the market and address the legal action. 13 neighbors filed a nuisance lawsuit against Susan Van Cabbage last month in Stark County Common Pleas Court. She bought the house in October 2015 but has never lived there full time. Van Cabbage suffered a medical issue after the purchase and moved into a nursing home in Lyndhurst. The suit cited issues including a large dead tree that had fallen onto a portion of the house. The tree has been removed and repairs are underway. The neighbor's attorney, Julie Jackmedes, tells the newspaper they won't drop the suit until the problem has been resolved. The truck driver who triggered a fatal crash with a charter bus carrying band students from the Tusky Valley School District will be sentenced June 30th. 61-year-old Jacob McDonald was convicted of 6 misdemeanor counts of vehicular homicide. He was cleared of 6 felony counts of aggravated vehicular homicide and 9 counts of vehicular assault. He faces a maximum sentence of 18 months in prison. The verdicts were delivered Friday at the bench trial overseen by Licking County Common Pleas Judge David Brandstuhl. Brandstuhl determined McDonald's actions were negligent but not reckless. A not guilty plea has been entered by an East Palestine man charged with allowing his 2 young sons to wander onto a street alone. The plea was entered Tuesday in Columbiana County Municipal Court during the arraignment of 30-year-old Paul Mason. His pretrial hearing is scheduled May 29th. Police arrested Mason after he failed to show up at the department for questioning about the Monday incident and was found hiding in a closet at his East North Avenue home. He was earlier discovered hiding in the attic and told officers he didn't know the boys, ages 2 and 4, were in the roadway. The children were naked and nearly hit by a vehicle before a passerby moved to them to a front porch. The Columbiana County Sheriff's Office is investigating an armed robbery that sent a FedEx driver to the hospital Tuesday. Deputies were called shortly after noon about a holdup near Township Line Road and State Route 45 in Madison Township. The driver suffered a head injury and was treated at a local hospital. Anyone with information about the robbery is asked to call the Sheriff's Office or leave an anonymous tip through the Sheriff's mobile app. A man has been indicted over a fatal shooting in Barberton. Police were called to East Page Avenue and 3rd Street Northeast early April 14th. They found 25-year-old Nathan Flight of Canton with multiple gunshot wounds. He died from his injuries at Akron General Medical Center. 24-year-old Justice Oney of Barberton was arrested near the scene. Police say a gun was found in his vehicle. Oney was indicted Monday on murder, felonious assault, and abduction charges. Police say the shooting was the result of a dispute between Oney and his wife. A Sebring man has been sentenced on charges resulting from a child sex abuse material investigation. 63-year-old Douglas Brock was given a 4-year prison sentence in Mahoning County Common Police Court on charges of pandering obscenity involving a minor and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Brock pleaded guilty in March. Police, acting on a tip in May 2023, seized a computer from his West Texas Avenue home. Investigators found evidence Brock had downloaded images of child pornography. He was given the weapons charge due to having a firearm in May 2023 while living in Canton. Brock was unable to possess a weapon due to a 1997 felony conviction. 3 to 4 years in prison is the sentence handed down to a Georgia man who fired shots at another truck on the Ohio Turnpike in Austintown. 28-year-old Curtis Brooks was sentenced today by Mahoning County Common Pleas Judge Anthony Dapolito. He pleaded guilty in March to felonious assault and tampering with evidence. Brooks was arrested in June 2024 after the other driver said he fired shots in a case of road rage. The incident took place when the other driver flashed his lights at Brooks, who was drifting into his lane. The shots struck the trailer of the second truck. Brooks had children and his girlfriend with him at the time. Canfield police continue to search for a second suspect in a stolen car investigation. Officers were alerted to the vehicle by a flock camera Wednesday night. The stolen car was chased until it crashed at South Turner and Herbert Roads. 2 suspects fled on foot. One of them, a juvenile, was arrested. Police say the other suspect is an adult. The Mahoning County Sheriff's Office and other local law enforcement assisted in a search before it was called off around 9 p.m. Police don't believe there is a threat to the public. Someone vandalized a Warren cemetery, and police want to know who's responsible. WFMJ-TV reports a person visiting a loved one's grave at Oakwood Cemetery notified Cemetery Superintendent Beverly Brown. She says 13 gravestones were overturned and about 3 dozen veteran flags and plastic cases were broken. It's not clear when the vandalism occurred. Police have not identified any suspects. An investigation is underway. A man has been charged with a crime for supplying alcohol to the 20-year-old fan seriously injured when he fell from the wall at PNC Park in Pittsburgh April 30th. The injured fan, identified as Kevon Markwood, fell more than 20 feet onto the field. Video taken by a fan appeared to show Markwood jumping up to celebrate a play by Pirates outfielder Andrew McCutcheon. As he did so, he lurched forward and fell over the railing. 21-year-old Ethan Kirkwood is charged with supplying alcohol to a minor. Prosecutors say video taken at the game shows Kirkwood purchasing beer for Markwood at least twice. Markwood, a former linebacker at Walsh and Wheeling Universities, suffered a broken neck, clavicle, and back. He has reportedly been in good spirits and feels he will recover from the injuries. Kirkwood will next appear in court at the end of June. A Westlake police report details a man traveled from Toledo to Westlake at least 4 times last April looking for U.S. Senator Bernie Moreno. 3 of the incidents occurred between April 1st and 5th, with the man returning April 13th. A police report on the April 1st incident noted a suspicious male repeatedly attempting contact with Moreno and including mentions of a suspicious vehicle and trespassing. April 7th, the man sent a handwritten letter to the Westlake Police Department seeking help to arrange a meeting with Moreno and saying he had been dealing with serious issues. The plain dealer went to bat for the Toledo man, saying police reports contradict the claim of threats. Editor Chris Quinn, who has in the past called Moreno unintelligent, claims the senator was lying about the incident. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed today at 41,860, down 817 points. The Nasdaq Composite dropped 270 points, ending at 18,872, and the S&P 500 closed at 5,844, down 96 points. It's 62 degrees in Alliance at 5:09. This is the local edition of WDPN News, a service of Bonford Glass. I'm Jeff Mears.
For over 80 years, Bonford Glass has been the expert when it comes to glass. You can count on the professionals at Bonford's for the latest techniques in glass repair, like the Aegis windshield repair system. The Aegis system can repair small chips in your windshield before they grow into big headaches. This revolutionary process takes less than an hour and can easily restore your windshield to its original strength. In fact, the Aegis windshield repair system is so effective that most insurance companies will waive the deductible and cover the entire amount of the repair, saving you and your insurance company up to 80% of the cost of a windshield replacement. The Aegis windshield repair system, just one of the expert repairs from Bonford Glass. They'll help you save money and make your windshield safer. Bonford Glass. Call 330-823-0450 or stop by at 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Showers and possibly a thunderstorm for the remainder of your Wednesday afternoon. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall, a high near 65. For the overnight, showers and thunderstorms likely, otherwise cloudy, cool, a low around 49. Thursday, keep the umbrella handy, showers and a high near 52. That's your AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Got big dreams of a better career? Whether you're looking to learn new skills, land your next job, or refine your resume, Ohio Means Jobs, Stark and Tuscarawas counties is here to help you turn that daydream into your day job. We will provide everything you need to succeed, from resume assistance to job search guidance and everything in between. Call us or visit our website at omjwork.com to learn more, because your future is closer than you think.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Making your way in the world.
Making it difficult for Gilgeous Alexander. That's inside, pulls back, he stumbles a bit. Carry that one. You think you're in the game, and then all of a sudden, it's blowout city.
The thing I like is that they lost the first quarter in Game 7, lost the first quarter tonight, but the way they finish games is what sets them up.
Puts it in the air to center field. Doesn't matter if it's gone. It's caught in center. Shohei tags. He comes home, and now we go home.
Then it scores! Their first shot in over 15 minutes. Sam Bennett with a power play goal, extending the Panthers' lead to 4-1.
Hey, welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show on a Wednesday afternoon. We continue our Cheers theme today. Of course, the passing of George Wendt, Norm on Cheers for so many years, passed away yesterday at the age of 76. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. Hope you are staying dry. Hope you're having a great day here. Welcome into 1310 WDPN, and, of course, streaming live all over the world at am1310wdpn.com. All right, lots of stuff to get to. Don't forget, coming up here in about a minute or two, NBC college football analyst, best in the business, Todd Blackledge, will be joining us here on the program. Louisville has a new head basketball coach. Dave Wirtz has been hired to take over the Leopard basketball program. Baseball today, Twins beat the Guardians in game 1, 6-5. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Minnesota leads the Cleveland Guardians by the score of 1-0. The NFL will keep the tush push, at least for the upcoming 2025 season. Coming up a little bit later on this day in sports history, and we'll get back in and revisit our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. It's been a busy day. Oh, forgot to mention this earlier. Maybe I'll throw this up to Todd as well. Notre Dame and Wisconsin are going to play against each other coming up in 2026 at Lambeau Field in Wisconsin. That's coming up here September the 6th. And that will be on a Sunday at Lambeau. Remember they were supposed to play back in 2020 where COVID wiped it all out? So next year, Notre Dame, Wisconsin at historic Lambeau Field. The Irish and the Badgers are going to get together and play a little college football. Oh, that will be an incredible scene. That's going to be an incredible scene. And I believe, yes, that's going to be over the Labor Day holiday weekend. So Notre Dame, Wisconsin at Lambeau Field on September the 6th. That'll be on a Sunday at Lambeau. That will be really, really cool. All right. Hey, good way to kick off the hour here. Let's welcome in Todd Blackledge, NBC college football sports analyst, the best in the business. And Todd, thanks for taking some time here on this Wednesday afternoon. How you doing, my friend?
Sam, I'm doing good, man. It's great to hear your voice. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm glad we could hook up and talk a little ball. A couple of questions I've added to the list that just kind of came up the last couple of hours. So hope you don't mind a couple of those. But geez, when I reached out to you a couple of days ago, I was sitting back in the office and I'm going, okay, college football, where are we at 2025? There's been so many changes with conference realignment and, TV contracts and NIL and transfer portal. I said, I know who I want to talk to and get his thoughts on this. So if I just kind of bumped into you on the street and I said, Mr. Blackledge, explain college football to me in layman's terms, where we're at in 2025. How would you explain that?
Sam, I don't think there is an explanation. I mean, it in a lot of ways, it is like the old Western movies where, you got the stagecoach and something spooks the horses and they're running and there's nobody in control.
Yep.
That's kind of what it feels like a little bit. I've been doing broadcasting in college football at the network level for over 30 years. And yet, kind of as you alluded to, there's been more change, dramatic change in the last, 3 or 4 years than all those other years combined leading up to that in terms of realignment, in terms of expansion of the playoffs, in terms of the transfer portal, which really, set the whole thing on its ear more than anything. And then the NIL, which, look, I mean, it's ridiculous that we're still calling it NIL.
Right.
It's not name, image, and likeness anymore at all. I mean, conceptually, I was all in favor of that. I thought that was a great idea, but, we just have gotten into pay for play is all it is now. And stuff that was deemed as cheating for years and years is just kind of been made okay. And so it's a very, very different world. I do think it's a little bit out of control. However, the game is great. The popularity of the game has never been higher. But there are some issues surrounding it that I don't know that are completely sustainable,
I look across the aisle at the college basketball scene, and Todd, I know you pay attention to hoops as well. Look how many coaches have been driven out by just all the extra shenanigans that are going on now with the quote unquote NIL pay for play and the transfer portal. And you're constantly recruiting guys that you recruited the year before just to stay on your team.
Right.
Do you see this happening in college football where some like Nick Saban and more guys are going to say, you know what, I didn't sign up for this. I got to go.
Yeah, I think so. Particularly, maybe not guys that are, at a place like Nick was at. I think Nick had a lot of other, just things that all kind of led to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if you're a head coach at a mid-major or a head coach at a D1, even a Power 5 school or Power 4 now, Power 4 school that is kind of on the lower end, it's hard. It's hard to compete. It's hard to keep your guys. It's hard to, to really compete at that level. And so, we've always had kind of a situation of haves and have-nots, and we still have that. So it's unfortunately that's kind of the reality. You mentioned basketball. I think it's even probably crazier there.
Oh yeah.
And the thing that to me was like the picture of how crazy this is. Indiana's got a new coach, and when the guy got there, there were 0 players on the roster.
Right.
Now I know they've struggled. They haven't been a hot top flight team, so maybe there shouldn't have been a lot of players left over. But a program of that caliber, that history, to have 0 players on their roster when the new coach shows up is just shocking to me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you talk about, Indiana's tradition rich, and I know it's been a while, but still with Bobby Knight, and I mean, goodness gracious, what's going on there is really, it's unfathomable. Todd Blackledge is our guest, outstanding college football analyst for NBC Sports. He'll be coming back again this fall and popping up on your TV at some great venues and some great college football again coming up here in just a few months. Conference realignment, Todd. Crazy stuff the last couple of years with the West Coast teams coming to the Big Ten and a lot of other shifting as well, Stanford and the like going to the ACC, SMU. Are we done yet, or is there another round coming around the corner that we should be ready for?
I don't think you can say that it's over with. I'm not sure what other dominoes might fall, but you still have I guess there's just 2 teams left now in the Pac-12, which, is kind of crazy with Washington State and Oregon State. But, you still have some other programs out there that could be attractive to different conferences if there is more movement. Everybody always says, well, what about Notre Dame? Well, Notre Dame, there's no reason for Notre Dame to move football-wise. There are other sports. It's good for them to be affiliated with the ACC. But, I don't think there's any pressurized situation as long as they have a TV contract and as long as they have what they feel is equal enough access to the playoff. Notre Dame's going to remain an independent. And they're the only team that can do that.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think it makes any sense for them to go out there and just start sharing their wealth with everybody else when they can just kind of hang out there on the island there in South Bend and kind of and do what they want to do. And they're still, a lot of times, Todd, they're always going to be one of the big topics in college football. The playoff system we expanded last year. What was your thought on the first year of that? And are we done there?
Well, first of all, I thought it was great. Now being at NBC now, going into my 3rd year, I knew I was leaving being a part of the college football playoff. I had been doing the semifinal games, since the beginning of it, 2014, I guess. And then, being a part of the championship broadcast as well. But I thought it was outstanding going to 12 because I thought having games on college campuses in that first round was excellent. I just thought that was really cool, and I even know for like my ESPN buddies, my old crew, for them to go do a game at Notre Dame, a playoff game, that was a very cool thing for them because nobody's ever done a Notre Dame game for the last 20 years except NBC. So anyway, that I thought it was really good. I thought the seating, ended up being a little bit funky. And I don't know if they'll tweak that before next year or not. I think it's certainly something that should be revisited, whether it's, teams are reseeded after that first round or however that might be. But, it was pretty clear that, like a team like like Penn State, who, you know, obviously I'm partial to because I went there, but they had a much easier road, you know, at least on paper, in their first 2 rounds in the playoffs than some of the other teams did, even teams that were had a higher seed. So that was the only thing I thought was a little bit amiss, but I thought overall it was a huge success.
I didn't know if you happened to see on X, I think it was earlier today, a site on 3 Sports came out with a 40-team playoff. And I guess Matt Roll from Nebraska, they quoted him and said, "Hey, I'm all for it. The more, the better. Get as many in there as we possibly can." Do you think it would ever get that crazy and that big, or do you think they may cap it at some point at, you know, maybe 24 would be the biggest that they ever think about going to?
Yeah, I mean, I just hate that they're already talking about expanding it again. You know, I mean, I don't think it would go to some crazy number like that. Now there's a lot of talk about 16, and, you know, a lot of that is driven by, you know, the Big Ten and the SEC both wanting to kind of get a certain number of a higher number of guaranteed automatic qualifiers. And so I don't know, you know, that we may see a move to 16 in the not so distant future, but I think the only way there would be something bigger than that is if there was just a major shift in, you know, the top tier of college football kind of breaking away and doing their own thing.
NBC Sports guest Todd Blackledge, outstanding college football analyst, joining us here on the Sam Bourquin Show today. Happy to have him here on 1310 WDPN. We're always looking at the future. Things are going to get tweaked. Changes are going to be made 10, 15, 20, 25 years down the road. What do you think that this all may look like then?
Yeah, I don't know.
If we're still here.
Again, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have had any idea it was going to look like what it does right now. But look, I've enjoyed an excellent career, and you know, my move to NBC has been great. I've got I'm starting my 3rd year of a 6-year deal there. If I can do one more deal after that, do this until I'm 70 years old, I will be thrilled. And at that point, I won't worry one bit about what's going on in college football. It'll be somebody else's issue to deal with.
No doubt about it. What would it take for me to corral you out of retirement and come back and play for the Cleveland Browns? Would that be a thing for you or no?
Hey, look, they
Please?
got enough to choose from right now.
I know they do.
QBs to choose from. I think they could even, you know, like even if they could start a different one each quarter, you know, and then have another guy in reserve if they go to OT. So they're in good shape.
Well, you know what they say: when you have 2, you don't have any. What happens when you have 4? Please come back, Todd. Yeah. Please come back. Todd Blackledge is our guest. So, I guess most of these universities now, the big ones, are calling it, we need to have this much in our collective if we're going to be ahead of the game and we can get guys to come in. If you had to guess, and we'll just leave this at the Big Four, the Power Four, how much money do you think is in that collective to make these teams continue to be viable and either keep their talent or go bring some in?
Yeah. You know, I don't know what that number exactly. I mean, look, there was a lot of talk about Ohio State last year, right? I mean, the amount that they put together to get their roster that they had intact last year, and I think it was upwards of, you know, between maybe $25 and $30 million. I think.
Yep.
I think there were other teams that spent similarly. Look, there's a lot of teams that there's no way they can raise that amount of money. And even the teams like Ohio State or Tennessee or, you know, Alabama, whoever they are they able to do that year in and year out? I'm like over a 5 to 10 year period. I don't know. I mean, that just seems crazy. Now, you know, this House settlement, which, you know, they're working out all the details where the universities will actually be able to pay athletes, and there'll be a certain amount in that for each team, each school. I think $18 to $20 million or something like that. But they'll still have collectives because, you know, your other players, basketball and football, are going to have their own deals. And the guys that are making 6 figures or 7 figures to play college football or college basketball, that money is going to come from collectives. So I would say that number is probably right around the same, $25 to $30 million. And it's a matter of, can you continue to put that together on a yearly basis?
That's incredible. We're broadcasting here, Todd. We're less than a mile from Cara Stadium at the University of Mount Union. And I can't help but think about Division II, Division III, not necessarily NAI. There's not that many of those schools left. But do you think this whole pay-for-play transfer portal stuff is going to infiltrate at a higher level moving forward at the Division II, Division III level, possibly?
Maybe, but I don't think so. I think it's primarily going to, going to stay at the highest levels. Now, certainly, I think there could be some impact of that. I mean, I think there's even impact felt at the high school level.
I agree.
To some degree. I mean, I know here in the state of North Carolina where I live, the public school athletes are not legally able to have any kind of NIL deal, but private school athletes are. And there are a lot of big time private schools. In fact, I'm an assistant football coach at a private school, Charlotte Christian Middle School. And, so I know that that's possible. It's kind of a strange thing here in the state, but yeah, so I think there's some impact even at the high school level, but nothing like what we're seeing in college football.
TB, before we let you go, when do you crack the mic for NBC college football coming up this fall? Where will you guys open things up?
Yeah, well, our opening weekend will be August 30th, and I'm not. I think we're going to be at Michigan that first week. Don't know that for sure. It's not definite or written in stone, but I'm pretty sure that's where we're going to be. So get a chance to see. Speaking of quarterbacks, get a chance to see Bryce Underwood. And, see what he's all about, if he is the guy that's going to be pulling the trigger. And so kind of looking forward to that. But I got to tell you, so if you give me a couple more minutes.
Go for it.
A couple things that you might be interested in. First of all, I mentioned I was coaching.
Yeah.
So take a load of this coaching staff. So this is my second year. So this is Charlotte Christian Middle School. So our head coach is Greg Olson, who is from Charlotte as well.
Okay.
He works for Fox.
Yep.
He's a great player for the Panthers. And he's got 3 kids that are all in the school there. And in fact, his son Tate will be our quarterback this year as an 8th grader. It's a 7th and 8th grade team combined.
Okay.
He's the head coach. His dad, Chris Olson, who was his high school coach in New Jersey, who won 9 state championships as a high school coach in New Jersey. He's our offensive coordinator. Our defensive coordinator is Luke Kuechly, who's Greg's best friend. And then we have 2 special assistants, along with myself, is Jonathan Stewart, who's the all-time leading rusher for the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
So, and Jonathan's got kids in the school. So anyway, we had a blast last year working together. We just finished our last spring workout yesterday in May. Kids got off a couple weeks here to finish finals, and then we started to summer workouts in the beginning of June. So been a lot of fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
That's my first story. The second story, and this is kind of, if you'll indulge me in a proud dad moment.
Absolutely.
But my youngest son, Owen, after he went to TCU to play baseball, after 2 years, and they went to Omaha his second year, he wasn't playing a lot, and so he wanted to transfer to get a chance to play. Transferred to a school called Lenore-Rhine, which is in Hickory, North Carolina, about an hour from me, and had a really good year last year. Was an everyday player, and has had a great year this year as a senior. Made first team all conference, first team all region. Their team is playing tomorrow night, our first game in a super regional. So we're in the final 16 and trying to make it to the College World Series at the D2 level.
Ooh,
so
awesome.
It's been a really fun thing to watch, and just really, really exciting way for him to finish out his career.
That's awesome. We'll give Owen our best, and we'll buy with the beautiful thing called the internet. We can always follow and see what's going on there. Todd, I really appreciate you coming on today. Looking forward to opening night with you on NBC Sports, and continued success, man. You're doing a great job. You know that, and I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Always good, Sam. Great to talk to you, man. Take care.
You bet. Todd Blackledge, college football analyst. He's the best for NBC Sports. All right. We went over a little bit. I apologize. The news and the weather's coming up. Stay with us.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. House Speaker Mike Johnson says President Trump's so-called big, beautiful budget bill is on schedule. Johnson believes it will get to the floor for a vote before Memorial Day, as promised. Meanwhile, talks continue, which Johnson described as very productive. Here's ABC's Capitol Hill correspondent Joe O'Brien with more.
These holdouts are going against what the president wants and what the speaker wants, which is to give their votes to this massive package of legislation that is, again, the entire culmination of President Trump's domestic agenda.
President Trump met with the president of South Africa today at the White House before a closed-door session was held. Trump spent the majority of the time to accuse the South African government of allowing for the killing of white South African farmers. When the president attempted to show evidence of the genocide, a reporter asked about news that broke while they were in the meeting concerning the $400 million luxury jet that the U.S. is getting from Qatar.
And you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. Go ahead, talk about that. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet.
The jet is expected to become Air Force One and then will go to Trump's presidential library. There are questions about the legality of the gift that have been raised by lawmakers from both sides of the aisle. 93 trucks have crossed into Gaza since Israel partially lifted its humanitarian aid blockade, but the UN says it's nowhere near enough and that if baby formula doesn't get in soon, as many as 14,000 babies could die in the next 48 hours. ABC's Ian Pannell reports the UK, Canada, and France are also expressing concerns over the aid crisis for Gazans, and the UK has halted trade talks with Israel.
Under pressure, Israel is now allowing some aid in, but the UN says none of it has been distributed yet. The situation, though, on the children's wards in Gaza's beleaguered hospitals are grim, with many newborn infants severely underweight. And as talks in Qatar reach another ceasefire, they appear to be going nowhere. There are fears that Israel's about to launch another major land offensive, which will only make the situation even worse.
There are delays for aid because of fears of looting and Israeli military restrictions. Rapper and actor Kid Cudi is expected to testify at the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial tomorrow. He'll tell the jury about his brief relationship 14 years ago with Combs' ex-girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassie. She testified last week that Combs was enraged when she left him for a period of time in 2011 and began dating Cudi. Prosecutors say Combs was so upset that he arranged to have her convertible firebombed. Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he oversaw a racketeering enterprise that controlled Cassie and others through threats and violence. His lawyers say the evidence doesn't amount to a criminal racket or sex trafficking. It's 61 degrees in Alliance at 5:32. This is WDPN News. I'm Jeff Mears.
Here's the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Showers and possibly a thunderstorm for the rest of your Wednesday afternoon. Some storms could produce heavy rainfall, a high near 65. For the overnight, cloudy skies, showers and thunderstorms likely both before and after midnight with a low around 49. Showers again Thursday with a high reaching 52. That's the AM 1310 WDPN weather.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Hey drivers, it's Ryan Blaney, your 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion and driver of the number 12 Discount Tire Ford Mustang. Do you know one of the most important things that helps keep my car going on the track? Tire pressure. Keeping your tires properly inflated is crucial for safe stopping power and better gas mileage. Check your tire pressure at least once a month or stop by a local tire retailer for an air check.
A message from the U.S. Tire Manufacturers Association.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. You know what time it is. It's time for On This Day in Sports History. On this day in 1881, the United States Lawn Tennis Association was formed in New York City. 1930, Max Bishop walked 8 times during a Major League Baseball doubleheader. No official at-bats for a whole day. On this day in 1930, Babe Ruth of the Yankees hit 3 consecutive home runs. In 1943, the White Sox and the Senators. How about this? They played the fastest 9-inning night game in American League history. The game was finished in 89 minutes. Wow. On this day in 1947, Jolton Joe DiMaggio and 5 of his New York Yankees teammates were each fined $100 because they didn't fulfill contract requirements to do promotional duties for the team. It's a lot of money back then. On this day in 1952, the Brooklyn Dodgers scored 15 runs in the first inning against the Reds. Yeah, they would go on to win that game 19-1. And on this day in 2003, the NFL decided not to vote on expanding the playoffs in 2004. All right, it's audio time. In 1996, Ken Griffey Jr. becomes the 8th youngest player to hit 200 home runs.
Well hit ball to right field, and there it goes. Ken Griffey Jr.'s 200th home run in the big leagues. Into the bleachers in right field, a 3-run home run by Ken Griffey Jr., and the Mariners lead the Boston Red Sox 8-5. His first home run back on April the 10th, 1989 in Seattle against Eric King of the White Sox.
How about that? And Griffey would go on to be pretty good, wouldn't he? He smacked a few home runs, but he hit number 200 today on this day in 1996. Now, on this day in 1997, the Rocket, Roger Clemens, then of the Red Sox, picked up his 200th win. We thought we would give you his 350th win in the pinstripes of the New York Yankees.
They get it. Ford down looking. Clemens has retired 15 in a row. The 44-year-old right-hander has been absolutely brilliant. 2 hits, 1 run through 8. Yankees lead 5-1.
Later, he would go on to pick up his 350th win. And, wow, on this day, he picked up his 200th win with the Boston Red Sox. There you go. On this day in sports history, one of our staples here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. All right, we got about 5:42, 5:43 on this Wednesday afternoon. Folks, I got breaking news. The sun came out. Yes. Now, I don't know for how long, but the sun has actually made an appearance over here in Alliance, and hopefully where you live as well. Again, I don't know how long it's going to be out, but the sun is out right now. All right, let's check in and see what the Guardians are doing. By the way, our phone lines are open for you if you want to hop in today, 821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. They finished the suspended game earlier today, Guardians and Twins. Minnesota won 6-5. They have now, let's see here, they've gone to the top of the seventh inning, and the Guardians have taken a 2-1 lead over the Twins at Target Field in Minneapolis. 2-1 Guardians as they go to the top of the seventh inning. Cleveland scored 2 runs in the top of the seventh. My guy, Gabby Arias, walked. Daniel Schneemann went to second, and Carlos Santana to third. Jose Ramirez would score. So it was the old bases loaded walk. How about that? Hey, whatever it takes. Guardians 2, Twins 1, top of the seventh inning in Minnesota. If you're scoreboard watching, probably a little early for that, but nonetheless, Tigers beat the Cardinals today by the score of 6-1. Couple of local news, sports items we want to pass along to you. Louisville basketball has a new head coach. Dave Wirtz will take over the Leopard basketball program. He was recommended to the school board. So Dave Wirtz will get the job with the Louisville Leopards. Also, Cam Weekly of Jackson has committed to play his college basketball at the University of Mount Union. And Bryce Broom from Glen Oak will continue his career, college and academic-wise. He will play baseball for Coach Tim Meade and the Walsh University Cavaliers. All kind of good stuff going on today. We get the crazy weather. Want to thank Todd Blackledge from NBC Sports for joining us as well. I want to thank Jordan Miller from Jordan Miller News for popping on here in the 3 o'clock hour. Some more wild stuff going on with the West Branch situation. Coach Walt DeShields, and there's actually, as we speak, I think it's still going on. They had scheduled a school board meeting today at West Branch to start a little bit after 5 o'clock. I don't know if that has ended yet. I assume it's still going on. So we'll check and see if we can get some information there before we leave you here at the top of the hour. Eastern Conference Finals kick off tonight. The Knicks and Pacers game 1. That best-of-7 series, game 1, 8 o'clock at beautiful Madison Square Garden in New York. Last night it was all thunder as they took care of Minnesota. Oklahoma City leads that series 1-0. You Notre Dame fans out there, we know there's quite a few out there listening. News today that Notre Dame and Wisconsin will be playing college football against each other next September 2026. September the 6th at Lambeau Field, the home of the Green Bay Packers. So that'll be pretty good stuff as well. Also, our Sammy B poll question of the day. Of these 4 instruments, which one would you like to learn how to play the most? Which one? A, the piano, B, the guitar, C, the saxophone, or D, the drums? What do you think? 330-821-1310. Let me see if I can pull up some of the results. People have been voting away on Facebook and, of course, on Twitter. Hey, be sure to follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms, 1310 WDPN. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, and then you can head on over to the Q92 Sports Facebook page and give us a like and a share and a follow as well. Got a note here from Brian Beatty on the 1310 WDPN Facebook page as we're showing the show live there if you want to go check that out. Brian says, my first football interview was with Todd Blackledge. I remember this. Brian says, my first interview with Todd Blackledge was at Chi-Chi's on Dressler Road back in 1992. I was going to bring that up with Todd, but we just kind of ran out of time because there is word out there that Chi-Chi's is going to make a comeback and they're going to bring their restaurants back. And we're all going to go back in time and have fun again. I just didn't have enough time. Short story here. When I first broke into the business, I started in radio back in 1990. A station over in Massillon. Real tiny little station. But hey, it was my first job. I was just getting into the business. I was happy to go work anywhere. Okay. So I started there in 1990. I hadn't turned 20 yet. Almost. I was like 19 and 3/4. But I got hired at the station. Shout out to Steve Luke. Hope you are well. He hired me. And he actually hired Clint, who does the morning news here at 1310. We both got hired at the same time at the Massillon station. And our first job was to be the radio play-by-play voices for the Massillon Tiger football and basketball teams. Awesome. Let's go. So Clint and I actually alternated play-by-play, okay? So he would start the game, I would do the second quarter, he would do the third, and I would do the fourth. And we had a great time. We actually hosted our own sports talk show at night. It was like 6 to 8. And I don't know if we did it every night. I think we did. Or maybe it was a couple nights a week. Clint, if you're out there, let me know. I forget. I'm getting old. But it was called Sports Rap. And it was Clint and I. And we just talked about high school, college, and pro sports. We took phone calls. We took predictions on high school games. We had a great time. So that was in Massillon when I kind of broke into the business. So meanwhile, here comes Todd, who had a terrific career. He finished up his high school career at North Canton Hoover. He had a terrific career at Penn State, but he also kind of started to break in to the broadcast business. Excuse me. My God. So he started, I know he was taking journalism or communications classes at Penn State, and then he would start doing football games as a sideline reporter for the university. Really cool stuff. If you ever go back and find it on YouTube, it is really good stuff. So Todd's looking to make a move now into the broadcast business. Did the NFL thing. Okay. Got some time in. He said, I want to get into the broadcast and I want to go full go. As it turns out, somehow he and the station manager at the time at the Massillon station hooked up, and Todd and I actually worked together, and we hosted our own talk show. And we did it 2 nights a week. We did it on a Monday night, and we did it on a Thursday night during the football season. It was an absolute hoot. If you're familiar with downtown Massillon, we did our Monday night show from 7 until 9 at the Alibi on Erie Street, right downtown. Our radio station happened to be right next door. So you could get on the elevator, go out the door, take a quick left, and walk into the Alibi. That was fun. I mean, the times we had there, God bless George Baberi and Cindy and all the great people. We had a blast. We did a show. We ate all the popcorn and drank all the pop we could. It was fun. It really was fun. So that was on Monday nights. Thursday nights, Todd and I did our show from the Chi-Chi's restaurant on Dressler Road in Belden Village. And that was a hoot, too. They just put us up in the cantina room. We set up our equipment, and we talked sports. We talked shop, took phone calls. People would come into the restaurant, and we did that from like 7 to 9 on Thursdays. And that was some of the funnest radio that I ever did. And that's how I got to meet Todd. Now, I knew he played high school football. I knew he played at Hoover. I know he was a stud. Of course, I knew he played at Penn State. I never got to meet him, never got to talk to him. And that's how we kind of formed our friendship relationship, was all the way back in the early 90s doing talk shows on the road at restaurants around Stark County. So I just wanted to share that with you. That was really a good time. All right, we got about 6 minutes till the top of the hour. We'll take our final break. We'll come back. We'll check out the poll quiz one more time. We'll update the Guardians, and we'll kind of set the table for the rest of the week here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Stick around, AM 1310 WDPN, and streaming live at AM1310WDPN.com.
Get
on board. The water is open. It's time to go boating and fishing and leave stress in our wake. Feel the wind as we ride and a fish on the line. Reel in our first catch and feel the sun at our backs. It's get out on the water season. It's time to get on board. Find out where to get on board near you. Visit Take Me Fishing and Discover Boating to learn more. And please recreate responsibly. Get on board. Get on board.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Making your way in the world today takes everything.
And we're back here for the final segment here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Our ode to Norm. George Wendt passed away yesterday afternoon at the age of 76. One of the big stars of the show Cheers. I hear that music and it just takes you back in time. R.I.P. Norm. That was some sad news yesterday. No doubt about it. All right. I want to thank Todd Blackledge for joining us today. Jordan Miller from Jordan Miller News. And again, we got some big shows coming up for you Thursday, which is tomorrow. And of course, Thursday is our 3-question Thursday edition, and it'll be our fill-in-the-blank Friday edition here of the Sam Bourquin program on 1310 WDPN. Don't forget, make sure you are liking, following, sharing all of our social media platforms on Facebook, on X, on Instagram. We kind of urge you to go to Facebook and type in AM 1310 WDPN and give our show a follow and make sure you like it and get you ready for high school sports too. The Q92 Sports Facebook page, and check us out on X, Twitter, whichever you prefer. We certainly appreciate that and love the interaction with you that we've had on all of our social media platforms here on AM 1310. Don't forget, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you, start your days with Rex in the morning, bright and early at 6 a.m. He's got all your favorite music and some cool stories to go along with that. Then John Tesh rolls in from 10 until 3, and then we roll in from 3 until 6 here on 1310 WDPN. The weather is settled down. It's actually sunny outside right now, so if you're out and about, enjoy. Maybe you can roll the windows down a little bit and take in all that the great weather has to offer here in Northeast Ohio, at least for the next couple of days. It's supposed to fire back up again tonight around 8 or 9 o'clock. So if and when it does, make sure that you are ready for that. Also, this weekend, we're going to be out and about between WDPN and Q92. We are going to be, we're going to post up. We're going to be over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the Ribs Burn-Off. Looking forward to that. You can come over there and join us. We'll have some folks out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday over at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And don't forget the big fireworks display Sunday night around 9:30. So we're certainly looking forward to that. All right, you hear Phil in the background. It's about that time. Thanks to my producer extraordinaire, Ryan Rainsberg. Thanks to all the emailers, callers, texters, and commenters today. And for all of you following us on 1310 and, of course, on all of our social media platforms. Thanks to George Miller News. Thanks to Jeff Mears for stopping in. And thanks to my good buddy Todd Blackledge from NBC Sports. Whew, it was a busy one today. Stay safe, everybody. And remember, go Guards, go Cavs, go Browns, go Buckeyes. Good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.